This pineapple coconut bread is so light and moist, it tastes like cake. If your quick breads always come out dense, dry, or flat, this recipe is for you. I use cake flour for a delicate light crumb, bits of pineapple and orange, and toasted coconut that adds texture, nutty flavor, and a gorgeous golden topping. And just to make it even more bright and tropical, it has fresh squeezed orange juice and orange zest for more flavor. I gave my taste testers 3 different desserts, and this is the one they were all raving about. It's time for you to find out how to make this incredible tropical loaf. First, we'll prep our fruit. Oranges and pineapple both have a lot of liquid in them that we need to drain really well. You'll need a 1/2 cup of pineapple cut into really fine little bits. That's 115 grams. I'm cutting them into pieces about that size and then cutting them in half again. You see the water that's dripping out, or the juice? This is what would actually just sink your loaf, like that moisture has to come out of this before we use it. I just kind of eyeballed what a 1/2 cup or 115 grams would look like. Measure after the liquid has soaked out of it because that has weight. So you want to just let this get good and dried out, and then we'll measure. And one fun fact, don't use fresh pineapple. We're using canned because fresh pineapple has an enzyme in it that actually eats away at protein, which would destroy our bread. So canned has gone through a heated process that destroys that enzyme, so you want to use canned pineapple, in case anybody was going to ask me that. Next, you need 1/4 cup of orange segments. You just want the flesh, no rind, no pith, none of the white stuff, just get that nice flesh. That's 40 grams, and we'll do the same thing. Cut the little bits around the same size, put them on the paper towel because we want them to start draining as well. You'll need a 1/2 cup of shredded coconut, 40 grams, toasted. I'm putting mine on the stovetop and just heating it until it toasts slightly, and then we'll just put it aside to cool. You need 1 tablespoon of orange zest, 6 grams. You'll need 1/4 cup of fresh orange juice, 60 milliliters. We have all of our stir-ins ready behind me. Now you need 1 cup of sugar. This is 200 grams. This is extra fine sugar. I just want you to see the texture of this. If you've never tried this, it's the best thing ever. It's just silky smooth. And this dissolves much, much easier in the cake, which lends itself to a more tender crumb. So that's why we're using extra fine. Now we're going to put our orange zest into the granulated sugar and we'll massage it between our fingers. What we're doing is extracting all the oils and the beautiful flavors from the orange zest and getting it into our sugar. So the zest is where all the flavor lives. And if you just put the zest in and stir it in at the end with the other ingredients, it doesn't get the chance to have all of those oils extracted like we're doing here. This is an amazing way to add extra flavor to your bakes. Feels like damp sand and an orange tinted color. That's gorgeous. This is going to make our loaf even more tasty. Once you have that done, set it aside. You will need a 9x5 loaf pan. I have lightly greased it with butter. You can use oil as well. And if you use parchment paper and you want to learn how to make this little fold, just check out the link on the screen. Just pop this in here. Then when the loaf is done, it just releases very easily. You can just pull it out using the edges. I will set this aside for now. So now we need to prep our butter and our wet ingredients. We have a target temperature. It's a cool room temperature, 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 18 to 20 Celsius. 1/2 cup of unsalted butter cubed. You will be doing the reverse creaming method, so cubed is much better. It incorporates into the dry ingredients much easier that way. Now we'll whisk our liquids together in a large measuring cup. You need 2 eggs. Give them a whisk. A 1/2 cup of full-fat sour cream, 120 grams. Pour your orange juice in. And then 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. That's 5 milliliters. Give this a good whisk and then set it aside. This will all need to be at that 65 to 68 degree temperature, 18 to 20 Celsius before we add this in. So you just want to verify your temperature. We're going to begin all of our mixing soon, and I want to make sure that our stir-ins are ready to go when we're ready for them. So one last prep item. We need to give them one final pat. So I'm just pressing on the top to remove any excess moisture that's still in there. This is super important. It's not optional. I have baked with this very thing before, and this moisture will totally ruin your bread if you're not careful. So you do want to make sure you're getting all of that out. And now for the pineapple, we need a half cup or 115 grams. As you can see, there's a lot of liquid that has drained out of the fruit. You definitely do not want this in your cake batter. The oranges, we need 1/4 cup or 40 grams. Again, pat that excess moisture out. So after all of our prep, this is kind of fun. This is everything we need to make our loaf. Now let's combine our dry ingredients. If you're hand mixing, grab a large bowl. I'm using a stand mixer. I'm going to sift the dry right into my bowl. This is 2 cups of cake flour, and that is 200 grams. You need 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 10 grams. This is our leavener. And a 1/2 teaspoon of fine sea salt, 3 grams. Sip that into the bowl. Once you have your dry ingredients sifted into the bowl, then add your sugar in, and we'll give it a good whisk. Once you have that evenly combined, it's time to begin our reverse creaming. Add your butter right into your flour mixture. We're using the paddle attachment. You need to mix this for 1 to 2 minutes until the mixture looks like damp sand. This process is coating all of the flour with fat so that it inhibits the formation of gluten. This will give us our tender crumb we're looking for. Okay, let's check that texture. You should see no lumps at this point. If you see large lumps of butter, you may need to mix it just a little more. This is what you're looking for. It's just a beautiful, damp, sandy texture. We'll be adding our liquid in 2 phases. The first one will add 2/3 of this mixture. It does not have to be exact, just kind of eyeball as you're pouring it in. And then you'll need a timer. We'll be mixing it on medium speed for about 90 seconds. And that is when we're adding some aeration and some structure into our batter. So with your mixer on low speed, add your liquid in, leaving about 1/3 of it in your cup. Turn your speed to medium and set your timer. Okay, we'll scrape our bowl down. Then we'll add the rest of our liquid in. In case you're wondering why we didn't add the liquid in all at one time, it would have made it really soupy. We wanted the batter thicker, more paste-like, so that it can actually grab the air as the mixer is whipping it. So now we'll add the rest in. And we've added enough structure in here that our cake will have like a really nice airy texture. I'm going to add the rest of the liquid in now. I'm going to give it just a gentle fold. I did that because when you have a really thick batter and you add liquid in, when you turn the mixer on, sometimes it just flies all over the place. It's very messy. Now we're just going to mix this for about 30 seconds until it's smooth and combined. We don't want to overmix at this point. Just low speed. Okay. Make sure your oven is preheated to 350 degrees, that's 180 Celsius. We're about to put this in our pan and get it into the oven. I have our prepared bread pan ready to go here. Scrape the bowl down. This smells amazing. It's smooth and beautiful. Look at this batter, how pretty it is. Add your stir-ins in very gently. We have incorporated a nice little bit of air in here and we want to maintain that, so gently fold your stir-ins in. Put your pineapple in, then your orange pieces. And the coconut, I usually save just a little bit of it out. I save about this much, and then I put it on the top of my loaf because it looks really pretty when it's baking and then it gets more golden brown, so that's an option. I'm doing that because I think it's pretty. Fold gently, and then we'll put it into our pan. We'll be baking this for 50 to 60 minutes until a toothpick in the center comes out clean, or if you're using a thermometer, the internal temperature should be 190 to 200 Fahrenheit or 88 to 93 Celsius. This needs to cool in the pan for 10 minutes, and then we'll just remove it and let it come to room temperature before we cut it. This is one of my favorite parts, that easy release. Look at that. And just peel that parchment paper back. And we'll let this come to complete room temperature. We want it nice and cool, and then we'll cut it and have a slice. The bread is cool. It turned out so pretty. I am excited to slice into this just to let you see how delicate the crumb is, and I'm excited to have a bite, so I'm going to cut it. This smells amazing. So this slice is like a dream. It's just like cutting a piece of cake. It is so tender and moist. And the smells coming up, it smells like orange, it's sweet. It's just got that beautiful homemade bread smell. I'm taking a bite. There are so many fresh flavors going on here. The orange really stands out. The crunch of the coconut, the little bits of fruit in here. This is so tender and so moist. It's lovely. You've got to give this a try. So after you try this, check out my quick bread playlist. I have some really amazing breads in there. One of my most popular is the banana bread. It is the world's best banana bread. You've got to try it. I also have some Starbucks copycats, and another family favorite and fan favorite is my coconut bread. So pick one that you like, and I will see you there.